Hey, it's Game Hydro. Today we're talking about a new game called Fortress of Gears. It's a tower defense type of game with a pretty unique gameplay mechanism where you got a combination of heroes and gears, and they have to be used wisely in order to defend your castle. So we're going to get straight into the gameplay, talk about some of our favorite strategies for the game. Now, you got a lot of heroes, but typically it's only going to be one of them that becomes available, and they're going to become available early on. So if you don't get the hero that you want, just hit the pause button. Don't be afraid to waste that energy, because there's a huge advantage or disadvantage that is acquired based on what hero you start the game with. So we're going to confirm the exit right there, and you need 5 energy. Unfortunately, we do not have 5 energy, or stamina rather, but you can watch an ad video in order to get your stamina back. So we are going to do that, and we will come back to the video after that. All right, the video is done, so now we got 19 stamina, so we're going to work with that. Side note, I swear the advertisement videos get weirder when it's later at night. It's about 3 a.m. right now because I work the midnight shift and I'm recording this on my lunch break, and those weirdo AI girlfriend ads pop up during this one. Anyways, so let's look at the heroes we got right now. Infantry is the first one that you get, and as you earn coins, you can unlock new heroes, plus move forward via chapters. Typically, it tends to be that, and as overly simplistic as this sounds, it's the case, the last hero or the newest hero that you have, regardless of upgrade level, is the one that's going to provide you the best chance of success. So in our case, the Wolf Rider is going to have the best chance of success because they move significantly faster than any of the other heroes. They have the second highest health behind the Lancer, and by far the highest attack power. And in some of these pseudo later chapters, without higher attack power, you're going to get owned on the last wave by the boss. So without further ado, chapter 3, we got the Wolf Rider this time, and the Lancer is the other option. That's a pretty good other option. The first one, it was the Archer and the Infantry, who, despite the high upgrade levels, suck compared to the Wolf Rider and the Lancer. So here we go. And if you noticed at the bottom of that initial screen, you can watch an advertisement video in order to get 15 of those purple coins, which will allow you to put more stuff on the board earlier. And after each wave, you will get the chance to pick 1 out of 3 upgrades. Increase settlement rewards by 25%. I'm going to go with that one because it's the highest rarity level. That's not always the predictor, but in my opinion, it tends to be one of the better ones. You got this fast forward button up here. It advertises you to buy a speed up pack for $10 in US currency, or whatever your local equivalent currency is. Anyways, you want to try to have the spinner touching as many gears as possible, whether it's a numbered speed gear or whether it's a character gear or something else. Just make sure that all the gears are touching each other and that as many of them are touching the spinner as possible. So you don't necessarily want to merge as many as possible at first. You just want to get as many touching the gears, and then you can start merging. As you can see, our Wolf Riders are coming out much quicker now. So I always like gaining a lot of silver immediately because this gets you rapid upgrades. With 48 coins, now we can do that. And on wave 3, we already have the entire spinner surrounded. So that makes Wolf Riders, or whatever character you have, come out much faster. Now, I would say 9 out of 10 battles, you're only going to have one character available in the entire game. Sometimes you're going to have a second character pop out. Typically, it'll be a clone of whichever character you already picked, but sometimes it'll be a different character. In that case, I would generally say it's best to try to have a ranged character and a melee character with high health on stage at the same time, but it's so rare that it's not honestly something that you really have to think about. We're going to increase the facility speed because I like that upgrade. And get out of here with the advertisements. Right now, pretty much all we can afford is to speed things along, so we're going to do that. Now you see those large characters come out. We'll go over that as soon as the potion gears appear. But there's two different potion gears, the yellow potion and the purple potion. And if you add either one of those to the board, then they will cause your character to grow in size. They will cause the character to grow in size whenever they get filled up. Let's hit refresh, see if one of those pops up. None of those are popping up, but we have a second character for everybody. We got a Lancer, so I'm going to put the second character in, and we are going to go. Now, those purple gears are weapons that fire off on their own. Those are actually excellent to have so that you can have a sort of weapon against bosses, because bosses tend to have very high knockback rates, and those knockback rates can really screw with your character's ability to launch attacks. Gain 5 silver per wave. Can't argue with that one. More silver, the better. Unfortunately, we were just short of enough coins to put that cannon on stage, but I like that cannon. That other gear that was next to the cannon, that's a knight who tends to be extremely powerful, but you can only have one of them on the screen at a time. And so if they die off quickly, then all of a sudden that boost ceases to exist, basically. 10% interest at the end of the battle, up to 30 coins. Why not? The more coins, the merrier. Now we got 55. $25, $15, $5. Just going to merge there and add to the speed. So the number per second counter isn't always accurate, because sometimes if the little icon fills up, it won't necessarily roll over right away until the next gear. So whatever the count says, it's usually going to be a little bit slower, but that's okay. But with these two characters on the screen at a time, and especially the Lancer and the Wolf Rider, we're making things go much more quickly here. 20% interest, gotta go with it. And occasionally, some of these arrows will pop up, or some of these gears will pop up with advertisement videos instead of coins. You can watch those if you want. The arrow, though, I don't really feel need to watch an advertisement video for that one. It's not necessarily that pressing of an issue. Now, with these full surrounding here, you can start merging gears. Just make sure that you always have 4 gears touching the spinner. Or in the case of some levels, there will be 2 spinners mounted to the corners. Make sure not only that you have gears touching either side of each spinner, but that the whole chain of gears links together in order to speed up the drop rate of all of your heroes. Let's see. All enemy speed down. I like that one, because then it takes them longer to get to where I'm at. And we have an attack one to put down. I'm going to put down the rock. Now, looking at this green circle, that's the range of the attack gear. So I'm going to put it there so it can attack enemies as soon as they come out. And then put down another number 2 gear for good measure, and merge the 2 4s to make an 8. Now the 8 is the highest number that you can get in a stage. So try to get as many 8s as possible. As you can see, the rock is already doing plenty of damage. It won't necessarily mean much against the little enemies, but against bosses, it will gradually take down their health and do damage while your main characters are slowing them down. We'll show you how that works a little later on. Facility speed, can't argue with that. What do we want to do next? Merge, merge, merge. And then we don't have enough coins to do anything else, so we're going to stick with that for now. But also, when you get the gear multipliers up there, like we put down a second ago, a second ago, like the 1.5 multiplier, those can be extremely useful to have. Now, as you can see, the main successful strategy here is simply to flood the board. Increase damage to the boss by 100%. Since we're coming up right on the boss, that is a hugely useful gear to have. And so is the shuriken. You'll be able to see in the next round that attack start to come up. Now, you don't want to have a situation like this where the 2 sets of gears are not touching one another. Make sure that all the gears are connected together for maximum performance. As you can see, the performance completely sucks now. Put them all together, performance skyrockets. All right, we're on the second to last wave before the boss, and an absolute flood of characters is coming out, as you can see. There's pretty much no limit to how many sprites this game can show on screen at a time, which is kind of legit. And you can see both the rocks and the shuriken doing their damage. Damage plus 2% per gear in the base. Well, we got a lot of gears in the base. Let's go with that. Normally, I'd go with the boss one, but I didn't feel like it this time. Also, that coin one can be useful as long as it's not the final round, but considering we're going into the final round, it's pointless. And now the final wave hits. We didn't get any green potions or orange potions during that time. Or excuse me, purple or orange. But if those do show up, then be sure to use them. And as you can see, the boss has an absolutely stupid amount of health and an absolutely stupid amount of attack power where they can basically one-shot any character that you put down. This is why it's important not only to flood the board, but to have those side attacks, because the bosses will usually kill your character before they even have a chance to attack. So for the rock and the shuriken and other independent attacks like the cannon and the boomerang, they're extremely useful against bosses because they will gradually wear them down while your characters stop the boss from moving. Now you can watch an ad video to double collect all of this stuff, or you can just continue forward and collect normally. Now in the top left corner, you see that red dot. That has different blessings that you can claim occasionally. You got attack boost by 50%, coin boost by 50%, or life boost by 50%. Over in the store area, you can watch up to 10 advertisement videos a day for free coins and up to 10 advertisement videos a day for free diamonds. Now, when you do, the cooldown time is 10 minutes, so you're going to have to space it out a bit. But if you are trying to seriously boost very quickly, Be sure to take all these ad video offers. Over here with the coins, now we can upgrade some characters. Obviously, I'm going to do the Wolf Rider because they're the latest one. But once I move all the way to Chapter 5, then I'll have the Rookie Slinger available, which appears to be throwing boomerangs. And then at Chapter 7, the Lion Knight, which right now can be presumed to be the strongest character in the game. What else? Over here is your talent tree. So by upgrading this, you'll give your heroes permanent boosts. In this case, we're going to boost the crit. And when one of those upgrades is full that has other upgrades tied to it, that allows you to unlock those other upgrades. Do we want to do crit or clearance rewards? Let's do clearance rewards. Why the heck not? And then after beating Chapter 4-1, you'll unlock the event. And occasionally, you'll see new gears show up in the top right corner. When the icon fills up completely, then it will be available to unlock. And to get it to show up, all you got to do is keep playing levels and keep winning. Anyways, this is Game Hydro. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and comment with any subject in this game or other game that you want to see a video about.